Hi, my name's David Blissett, and in this week's video we're going to be detailing some of the work that I've done between February and March 2021. Alright, so what you're looking at the moment is a character that's gone through a few different passes. It's not quite there yet, well, definitely not quite there yet. Ultimately, we're trying to figure out where we're going to go with that character. And then this is a prop that has been created for a VR title. Still working on it, but the base concept is complete, and we have a game ready equivalent that has also been generated. Now, if you don't know what that means, as we go through the video, it'll become more apparent as to what we mean by the concept and what we mean by the game ready version. Okay, so we're going to start off with the actual concepting for the rabbit. So it's for a mobile title. I won't go into too much, or I can't go into too much detail on what precisely we're actually working on. But the base concept is that what we want is something that's cute, that's visually appealing, that we can have multiple skins for within the game, right? So you got the base character, which is a rabbit. We're going to have a series of those, and then they're going to be able to share the same skin or different skins based on what's been purchased in the application, right? So if you've played any of these modern games, you've got this principle of free to play. So you download the game and it's there ready for you. But if you are one of those players that like to customize things for an added purchase, you can actually go ahead and get yourself skins that can either boost what you can do in the game or will just visually enhance what you're doing, right? And so this step that we're doing here now is just trying to come up with something that is visually appealing that the player would like. And at the same time, I'm having a lot of fun at, just putting it together. So I'm in a tool called ZBrush. And ZBrush is from a company called Pixel Logic, and you have the ability to work with really detailed meshes, right? So I can go from anywhere from 1 million polygons to 15 million polygons, depending on what you're trying to do. For what I'm doing here at this moment in time, which we're trying to detail like a helmet, right, for the character, I don't need that much resolution. And at the same time, as I'm designing the actual suit, I'm trying to think about how to lower the resolution, because ultimately you can go as high as you like in terms of resolution during the concepting phase, but when you're actually going to talk about creating a character for a mobile game, you're really trying to think about low polygon count. So we're talking like a budget of maybe 8,000 to maybe 10,000 polygons, right? And at this moment in time, what you're seeing at the screen is definitely in the hundreds of thousands of polygons. But as you can see, we're able to isolate different parts of the model so we can kind of detail the area of the model that we want to be able to change or alter so that, it looks good, right? Because the key thing we want to aim for during the concepting phase is a look and feel, and then once we actually completed that design element, then we can now start focusing on the optimization of the actual assets themselves in tools like Maya. And then after that, we'll then go into something called Substance Painter or Substance Designer and start think about, the actual colors or the materials. This is the second asset that we've worked on in the past couple of weeks. The idea was you want to be able to create a VR asset, virtual reality asset, right? And when you have weapons within virtual reality, your player is holding the weapon. So outside of maybe the glove, the second thing that the player is actually seeing would be the weapon. And so it's a first-class citizen in VR. And so you want to spend a bit more time on getting the look and feel right within the concepting phase. Because ultimately, it's not like a zombie that's, way out in the distance that you're shooting at. You're actually seeing that weapon right in your view. I mean, the goggles that you're wearing are, right there, right? So you may be like an inch from your eyes. So any kind of flaws within that model would stand out quite a lot. So I'm spending a lot more time than I probably would on such an asset, so that I know that there's nothing that stands out to say that this is wrong or why did they do that. I know that some of the issues I had while optimizing was gaps between different parts of the asset. So right now you're looking at maybe about 100,000 polygons, again being the concepting phase. And then once we actually get from this tool being ZBrush and going to something we call Autodesk Maya, we're gonna try and lower the polygon count. Look, if you can see the polygons, right? So those little squares, right? The total for it. I mean, let's just leave it there. 90,000 polygons. Now here we have the same asset, but in a different package. And like I said, this is called Autodesk Maya, and we're at a lower resolution. Right now, I think I managed to get it down to just under maybe 9,000, maybe 8,000 polygons thereabout, and I'm trying to get it down as low as possible while still maintaining the visual fidelity. And to do that, it's a lot more work than stands out. I mean, so the base concept took about 24 hours, about a day, right? But the rework that I'm constantly doing here, trying to get the model optimized, and you can see on the right hand side we got something called UVs, which is where we paint the textures on. So the 3D asset itself, you don't necessarily paint in 3D, but you do paint in 2D. So that's why the mesh has been almost flattened. So you have the 3D representation and the 2D representation, and you're going to apply your paint within the 2D space, right? So right now you can see that's a lot less polygons in terms of the visual feedback, but we're able to still represent the actual asset itself in the same way as it was at a higher resolution. And that means that you can then put such an asset on a mobile device, so whether that be VR or actual mobile, because the computational performance is not being degraded by a large polygon count. I hope that makes sense. I mean, this video is really out there for a lot of the youngsters who are trying to see what's going on within this space and trying to motivate them, to let them know that, look, you can do this from home. The days when you needed to go off and work for the larger studios, if those opportunities come to you, great, but if they don't, there is nothing stopping you right this minute from downloading trial versions of these software, or subscription versions where you're not paying a lot of money monthly, to be able to get into this space. So you guys might be just in university, maybe doing a computer science course. These are the tools that are of the future, as it were. So anyway, we've been focusing for some of the energy going into the Oculus Quest. I'll be giving updates, further updates in the future. So if you want, please go ahead and give us a like, and hit that subscribe button, because a lot more content is going to be coming. There's some things that I can show you, and then there's some things we've got to have hidden in the background, more from a commercial perspective, non-disclosure agreements and all that. But that's been the work that's gone in for the past 30 days. Again, if you've got any comments or you've got any ideas you want to share with us, give some feedback. Do you like the gun? What do you think about that corrector that we've been working on? But anyways, guys, that's it for now. Again, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.